welcome back to the XenaStar Galaxy. I'm so excited to bring you guys another Dungeon Hunter Champions video today. We're going to be talking all about Update 3, so let's get into it. The devs did a live stream this week on Thursday, and they gave us basically an overview of some of the highlights of what's coming in Update 3, but the patch notes just dropped like 20 minutes ago. So I'm super pumped. I haven't read through all of them yet. I opened it and I started reading and I was like, no, I need to get this out to you guys. We need to do a first reaction. But before we get into that, if you guys haven't been to my channel before and this is your first time here, I am a Twitch streamer as well as a video game content creator here on YouTube. And I have Instagram and Twitter where I post a lot about different games and what I'm streaming. So if you want to check me out on those 3 platforms, make sure to do that as well. But yeah, let's take a look. So I already did like a condensed version of everything there was to have on the live stream that they did on Thursday. So if you guys want that, it'll be linked down below, but really we want to get into these patch notes. Apparently there's like 6 pages, so it's a lot for us to read. So before we start reading, I need some tea. Okay. Alright guys, so I'm gonna get ready to rip through the patch notes. We're gonna look at them together. Before I do that though, just know that all of the Bull Demon King dungeons are actually open right now. I didn't even know. I think this just happened. It looks like they're open all weekend, so make sure if you need to get Ascension material that you guys are grinding away on those. And I'm just gonna throw up a quick Steel Widow run here. So let's have a look. Update 3 patch notes. Here's all you need to know about the upcoming Update 3. Okay, so the King of Fighters event. So as you guys know, there are 2 new champions coming out that are inspired or really directly from a game called The King of Fighters. And so there's Mai Shiranui? Mai Shiranui, I think that's how you say her name, I'm not entirely sure. And then Kyo Kusanagi. We're just gonna go with Mai and Kyo. I think that's how you say their names. I know that the devs said them on stream, but apparently I'm horrible at pronouncing. So the King of Fighters franchise are joining the Eternal Contest. Unlock the champions, their dedicated gear and outfits. So not only do these champions, they're new champions, but they're gonna have a dedicated gear and outfits that are specific for them, so that's really cool. There's a new Nat 5 champion called the Vampire, and so he's actually gonna have the ability to switch between human and demon form. So I'm really interested to see how that pans out. It'll probably be down in the patch notes more. Halloween event is coming out. Get in the spirit for trick or treating with our Harrowing Nude Tavern and Halloween event. So if you guys didn't know, the social hub is gonna have a Halloween theme, so that's really fun because Halloween's one of my favorite holidays, and it's not really a holiday, it's just like we don't get time off for it, so I guess we can't really call that a holiday, can we? My favorite time of the year, how about we say that? And then there's gonna be a special event. Exclusive new Halloween outfits are available only for the duration of the event. Okay, I gotta tell you guys, like, I don't have any outfits yet, so I'm just like really pumped because I love Halloween so much. I want all of the outfits, whatever they are. Don't be afraid to get them while you can. 5v5 improvements. So if you guys were on the live stream, you'll know that 5v5 is getting like a makeover. Bug fixes and quality of life are huge for this update and champion balancing. So let's start reading through some of this. So King of Fighters event. So that's gonna go from October 18th to November 8th. So we've got, you know, a good like, what, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks? I don't know what that is. And so Mai and Kyo from the King of Fighters franchise enter the multiverse, face the infamous champions along with the waves of enemies in a new dedicated game mode. So there's gonna be a specific game mode for this. That's super cool. Prove your worth and unlock the new champions. So you'll be able to get these new champions. That's really cool through the event. Any engaged player will win the Nat 4 and Nat 5 champions. In addition, new dedicated skill set to the two champions feature a brand new gameplay system inspired by the King of Fighters fighting game series. 2 new gear sets are based on each champions can be earned. Equip these on any King of Fighters champion to boost their abilities. So that's really cool. So they're gonna have there's gonna be some specific ways to use these champions, so that's cool. Collect King of Fighters points and open summons and crates for champions. Okay, that's good for me to know. So I have been holding off on summons. I have almost like 100 discs saved, so I'm gonna keep holding onto them until this drops because, yeah, I need to use it for that. So if you have not been saving summons, or if you have, start. Like, make sure you're still saving, make sure you start compiling your summons. My and Kyle will be available on the King of Fighters event and will not join the global summoning pool. Oh wow. So they're only available for this event. So you guys are gonna really, we have to do this event. It will last 3 weeks at first, but the event will return every month. Wow, okay, so if someone misses out on it or someone comes into the game brand new, they'll be able to get this champion down the road. That's really good to know. Okay, the Vampire and Halloween event. So this is from October 24th to November 8th, so it's only 2 weeks long. It's spooky time, discover Dungeon Hunter champions and our brand new haunting colors. Ooh, I can't wait. There's no better time to release the almighty vampire, of course, what a perfect time of year. The vampire features a unique skill set that allows him to switch between human and beast form for different fighting styles. This is our first shapeshifter champion. We all know that. The fire vampire will be available as a new champion in the ritual summon. Ooh, okay, so he's gonna be available in ritual summons and will stay available after the event. Okay, so the event is gonna launch, he's gonna be available in ritual summons. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm like leveling up a ton of stuff right now and I'm afraid to feed any of it because what if it's one of the required, oh man, I fed a whole bunch of stuff yesterday. Okay, I'm not feeding anything else. I'm just gonna sit and farm the game until this comes out. What would be Halloween without costumes? The Snake Lady and the Valkyrie will have a brand new outfit. Oh my gosh, available only during the Halloween event. Oh, and I missed this part. Other versions of the Vampire will be available in a time-limited boosted summon and will join global pool of champions when we release the next champion approximately. So it's going to be the same thing. So they won't be available in the summoning pool until after the next champion is launched, which is pretty normal. That's what they've been doing as long as I know. So there is going to be a boosted summoning event for the Vampire. That's cool. Oh, and there's going to be a Halloween event menu, so that's going to be cool. There's going to be more stuff available there. So, woohoo, the menu. Players can now expand the inventory limit on their champions roster by purchasing. So yes, champion slots, extra champion slots are coming. Up to 200 new slots are available. They talked about this on stream. You're going to be able to purchase them in the special shop for 50 gems will get you 10 new slots, and then in the guild shop you'll be able to purchase 5 new slots for 100 guild points. So if you have extra guild points kicking around, what a great way to use them. I'm so stoked for that because I need more space to even be able to summon right now. So that's cool. Players can now quickly switch champions in adventure mode with the new switch champions button in the results screen. Okay, this is freaking huge. You literally, when you're done fighting, on the results screen, they showed this on the stream, and maybe I'll pop up like a screenshot here. There will be a little switch champion button down in the left hand corner. Rather than, if you're farming and leveling up your champions, rather than going all the way back to the adventure board, going into where you wanted to farm, then repicking the champions and switching them out, you can switch them right on the screen. Craziness. So what a great feature to have. Super pumped for that. Added the option to auto-skip intro and outro cutscenes. The option can be found in the settings menu. Note, this does not skip the creature's name apparition. So what we've been waiting for is the auto-skip. So all the cutscenes that you see, we won't have to like sit through them anymore and have it take up time when we're farming. This update is really all about efficiency and really time management. So for someone that likes efficiency and time management, I'm super pumped about that. Added a new code system for account linking between devices in the settings menu. Ooh, okay, that's good. Currencies for special events should be counted as currency reward rather than an item reward, so players can still sell gear earned at the same time. Oh, good. Fully revamp the transaction system for a better reconnection after interrupt, example, after a phone call. That is great. Fix a bug that causes players to have rollbacks due to large profile sizes. Fix the bug that caused mission systems to display a quest for using French champions. Okay, I'm gonna just skip through some of these. Fix an issue with invisible avatars on podiums and social hub. Fix an issue. So there's a lot of quality of life improvements and just overall bug fixes in this. So that is fantastic. I'm so excited to see that. So that is good. So, but we'll skip through some of this. Chat, looking for a group. LFG tabs for 5v5 and co-op. Use the plus button to invite people directly to your group. So now we no longer have to muck up our friends list and constantly be deleting and adding people to do 5v5 and co-op. Thank you for listening, because that is so frustrating, especially being a content creator and having a lot of people trying to like friend you and you only have 30 friend spots and then people get upset when you delete them. Thank you. Alright, Arena is also getting a bunch of changes, which is great. Removed recent server-side change that prevented players from attacking the same player in Arena repeatedly. So the player would not appear in their list until they attack 5 players. Originally, this was intended to prevent collusion and other similar exploits, but it'll also inadvertently prevented top players from fighting each other for rank. So it'll be a little bit more competitive in the top ranks for Arena. Defeating all opponents on the tag list before refreshing will be rewarded with extra 2 PvP energy. This is huge, especially if you're on the more free-to-play side, like myself. I am now. Like I don't spend money on the game very much right now. Although with new events coming out, that might change. But if you are more on the free-to-play side, this is great, and it's great for really everyone. So when you complete your entire attack list on the Arena, you'll automatically get 2 PvP energy, so you don't have to refresh right away, so you'll save some gems in that respect. Okay, this is huge. Leaderboards can now be viewed during the maintenance time for each season while we calculate the final results, so that users can see their final position and score updated live rather than waiting to receive rewards for an unknown final position. That is so great, because it's really frustrating when you finish your Arena rush and you think you're at a certain rank and then you get your rewards and you're like, the hell happened? Like, why did I get less? Or sometimes it's the other way around. I found that for me too. It's like, I thought I finished lower than I really did, and then my rewards are higher, and I'm like, hey, that's always nice, but it would be nice to see the live updating on that. So that's gonna be a lot of work on their end, so I'm really impressed. This was a big one. They fixed the double revenge bug, and I had this in my little notes as well from the live stream. So players could repeatedly or double revenge on people. On someone that had attacked them, so that's going to be taken away now. So that's a big thing. Oh, they fixed the issue where sometimes the enemy's defense team is different from the one displayed on the menu because the opponent changed their team between the time the attacker entered the menu. So now the enemy's defense is locked in when you enter the menu. So that's big, because if you go in expecting one team and then you get into the fight and it's a different team, and that does happen, that could totally change whether you win or lose that round. So that's really important. All right, so now let's get into some of the 5v5 changes. So 5v5, new jungle buffs added. So orange buff is an attack increased by 15% given to the player who killed the Lizardkin elite monster. So that's cool. Then the purple buff is a cooldown reduction reduced to 15%, that's right, given to the player when killing the elemental elite monster. So that's huge, that's game changing for sure. It's gonna change, you know, how we play for sure. Both buffs share multiple properties. Duration is 60 seconds, so once you get the buff, it lasts for an entire minute. That's actually quite a long time in a 5v5 match for sure. A champion carrying a buff will transfer the buff to any champion that kills them. Remaining duration of the buff is also transferred. Wow, so if someone else has the cooldown reduction buff and I kill that champion, then I'm gonna basically absorb whatever's left over and be able to use it. That's so cool. Wow, it also puts like a giant target on you if you have the buff, right? So skill tree is now locked until the player reaches level 4 in the 5v5 match, so your ultimate skill is gonna stay locked until you hit level 4. That's definitely a big change. MVP system now shows the player who contributed the most to each team at the end of the game. One champion kill equals 1 MVP point, and one champion assist is 0.5 MVP points. One death is negative 0.5 MVP points. So there will be like a new MVP system. In the case of a tie score, the MVP candidate with the most experience will receive a 0.5 bonus point. MVP score cannot drop below 0. Oh, interesting. That's good to know for someone like me, that's for sure. Minimap, so players can now ping the minimap while they're dead. That's a big thing. Ping is got a visual upgrade. They showed it on the live stream. Now it's a lot more noticeable when your allies are pinging a certain part of the map. There's a ping limitation now added, so that it'll prevent players from using it too many times in a short amount of time. That's a good improvement. So they've revamped the trophy system. So it says, in general, earning trophies should go a bit faster for lower ranks. So mid-tier rewards are more in reach in reach of active players. Bots are now treated as having a much higher trophy rating, so players below 1,400 trophies should no longer be punished for fighting teams with few or no human players. That is so exciting. So now if you get into like a mainly bot match, you're not like, oh, this is kind of a waste because I'm not gonna get a lot of trophies from this. Games that finish with disconnected players are now treated as a loss for those players regardless of outcome. Oh, okay. One of the things I'm really excited about the changes to 5v5 is the targeting issues when it comes to jungle monsters. So while not in combat, a jungle monster can no longer be targeted through a wall with a basic attack. So one of the challenges with this in 5v5 was you would be like going up a lane and trying to just hit like the minions or hit another opponent on the opposite team. And if you were in closer range to the jungle creep that's just on the other side of the wall, it would like, your auto attack would switch to them and then they'd start attacking you and start coming around the wall. And it's like, I didn't want to, like I wasn't trying to jungle, I'm just trying to like deal with this lane here, please. So that's not going to be possible anymore. So that is a change that I'm very excited about. I know for me it was a challenge, so I'm excited about that. So it looks like there's going to be an XP gain reduced. So regular jungle monsters reduction is 10% experience, and jungle buff monsters, so the lizard and the elemental, are minus 18%. So it'll take a little bit longer for your champions to be fully leveled up, and really it'll take a little more effort to actually get those champions to level 4 so your ultimate's unlocked. So that's kind of nice. And so overall for 5v5, there's a ton more notes, and they're gonna be, you guys can read through all of them, but really above and beyond that, it's really all just bug fixes and just quality of life improvements to the game. Matchmaking is gonna be a lot better. So there's a lot of 5v5 improvements and upgrades coming. And overall, their goal, if you read through all the little finite details, is to improve the experience and make it, you know, less crashes, easier to match, get us in, and have a little bit more things to do when we get in there. A little bit more thinking is now involved when it comes to 5v5, so that's really cool. 5v5 champion balancing. So this is gonna be big for a lot of us, especially because, as some of you guys know, if you're involved in it, we are gonna be having a 5v5 tournament coming up. So this is gonna really change a lot of things. So let's take a look at these. All tanks are gonna have a defense gain per level increased by 100%, so that's pretty big. Fairy, okay, this has been like, we've all been waiting to see what's gonna happen with the fairy, because we know that the fairy is probably the one that's the least balanced and really messes up the game. So let's take a look at her changes. Critical rate gain per level reduction from 4% to 2%. At level 15, critical rate is now 43% instead of 71%. Max health gain reduced from 400 to 275. Okay. Tricky Wink skill 2 damage reduced by 20%. Arcane Nova skill 3 is now dealing less damage per sphere. Scaling of the damage has changed in order to make her weaker early game. At level 4, each sphere damage reduced by 12%. At level 15, each sphere damage, each sphere, not spear, because I can't talk properly today. At level 15, each sphere damage reduced by 10%. Wow, so that's a pretty big change to the fairy. She's still gonna be strong, but this really helps even the playing field, let's be honest, because she was way overpowered before. Astromancer, fix the bug where Galactic Ray, VFX sometimes didn't appear. Okay, that's not super important. Blah, blah, blah. Diva. Okay, Diva is another big one, so let's take a look. Max health reduced by 20%, and Sonic Pulse skill 3 damage reduced by 60%. Yikes. Okay, that's gonna change a lot for people. Wow. So goodbye to Fairy Diva meta. Hello to other champions being frigging awesome in this 5v5. I think this is gonna really create a better playing field for everyone. Okay, Derby Girl. Empowered skill 1, basic attack damage reduced by 60%, and dash skill 2 damage reduced by 50%. Oh my god, this is a lot. This is a lot. Wow, that's cool. Pirate, all aboard skill now passes through walls. Oh yikes. Those are some good changes. Also, like, sorry to anyone that uses all those champions and is like, frig. Spirit Guardian Boss. Increments start when he spawns at the 5-minute mark instead of starting when the game starts. Oh. This means the Spirit Guardian spawns at level 1 instead of spawning at level 5. that is good. So there's no more, I guess, yeah, that's fine. Starting health increased by 20%. Max health gain per level increased by 108%. So it's gonna be a lot harder to kill the boss now. Attack gain per level increased by 100% from 4 to 8 and deals extra damage to troops. Wow, okay, so the boss is stronger now, but also harder to kill. So that is actually really interesting. I think it's a good move for sure. This is gonna change a lot of things. Towers and core. So they talked a bit about this on the live stream as well. So let's see what specifically is changing. All towers now have 25 defense. Okay. Core defense remains unchanged. Towers that are part of tier 2, 3, all benefit from an additional 20% max health, okay? Core base damage increased by 50% from 400 to 600. So now the core will do more damage to you if you're trying to attack it. And core base max health increased by 140% from 12,000 to 28,800. That is crazy. They talked about this, but it's good to see like the actual increase amount, 140%. So in summary, it's gonna take more to actually kill the Spirit Guardian boss. So that's actually a good thing. Towers and core. So let's check this out really quick. They mentioned that the core was gonna receive more of a health increase, and it looks like it was increased by 140%, so that is awesome. So now essentially towers and core are gonna take more to kill, and the core is also gonna be doing more damage. So that's really cool. So there is some changes in the co-op boss raids, nothing too crazy, but the main thing is you will have a looking for group as well for co-op. Now, the biggest part of the patch notes that is in here is a ton of champion changes. So there's a bunch of stuff in here. I'm not gonna go through all of it, but what you guys need to know is there was some big buffs. We'll talk about the big buffs on some of the really important characters, but just so you guys know, there were changes to a ton of different champions, including the Boon Sister, the Bombers, the Archangels, Ink Ninjas, Siege Tower, Magical Girl, Monkey King, the Naga, Dino Kid, Timekeeper, Dragon Guard, Candy Munchkin, Shark, Valkyrie, Pirate, Dozer, Squire, and Scion. So a lot of stuff has been adjusted. Some of them are just bug fixes, some of them are actual changes, whether they're nerfs or buffs to the champions. So I'm just gonna talk about my favorite ones really quickly and some of the most anticipated ones. So one of the most anticipated ones was Ink Ninjas. And for me, Ink Ninjas were really a focus because I have 3 of them. So check this out. This is an insane buff. So what they've done is all the brush strokes on all elements, so their basic attack, increase damage by 20%, and it now ignores 25% defense. That is amazing. This is gonna make that just so much stronger. It also applies to the bonus damage done on marked targets, so that's huge. Tongue Lash on the water and Tongue Smack on fire and light now also ignore 25% defense. Ink Spirit Calling, light, nature, and water reduce the delay between the end. So actually, this is actually applicable to all of them. So the alt skill now fires 50% faster. So the challenge with that animation was it was just taking so long for the frog to pop up and like crunch on everyone. So now it's gonna be faster by 50%. And the damage on unmarked target has now been increased by 180%. So if the target's not marked, you're still gonna be able to do a lot of damage. Added 35% ignore defense on that skill as well. So that's on both a marked and unmarked target. Critical damage bonus increased to 30% on marked target in addition to automatic crit. So that is amazing. Drawn to life on dark and fire. So I have a fire, not a dark one, but so on Drawn to Life, they're gonna have that animation cast faster, as well as the damage on unmarked targets has been increased by 180%, and it now ignores 35% defense on unmarked targets and 65% on marked targets. So it gets a little bit of a boost when the target is marked. So that is insane. What a crazy buff. The Ink Ninjas I've been using in pretty much every one of my teams for a while, and I always get made fun of for it. So now I ain't gonna get made fun of anymore. So I'm super pumped because the Ink Ninjas are some of my only Nat 5s, so I'm really pumped. Siege Tower was another big one that people were bugging about having a buff. So Fire and Zark now on their head cannon skill, they apply a brand new buff that's called the Shred Defense, and it's a legendary debuff. So what happens is it takes away 5% defense, stacking it to 5 times. So you can get up to a 25% defense reduction on your enemies, but it's only once per target per projectile. But that's so cool, and it does stack actually, so that is really cool. It'll stack onto whether you have like a defense break on your enemy already. So that's going to be really cool to see how we implement that, and maybe we'll start seeing Fire and Dark siege towers being built. The other big one was Monkey King, so there's a bunch of changes to him. Overall, I'm just going to summarize it. He's getting a ton of damage added to his skills. Every single skill has a cooldown reduction on it now, so it doesn't take as long for it to level up. The biggest change is he now has a legendary silence debuff. All of them have it. And the biggest change that came to the Monkey King that is a brand new feature is they have a legendary silence buff on the Dark, Nature, and Water Monkey Kings. So what happens is on their overhead toss, they now have a legendary silence debuff, so that is pretty intense. So all of his skills will fire faster now, and then he also has the legendary silence debuff. So that is really cool. I'd like to see how that plays out. I have a Water Monkey King. I may build him now to test that out, because he's going to be able to do more damage on all of his skills now, fire them off faster, and we've got that legendary silence, so that's really cool. The other one that I just wanted to go over really quickly is the Timekeepers. So they've reduced the amount of healing that all the Timekeepers do, so that is a big change. And I know for myself, I use Monas in a lot of places, and as well as the Dark one, a lot of people use Sharma in a ton of places. So now the healing is going to be reduced by 60%. So they're really focusing on the Timekeeper to be, you know, he's very tuned to what he's supposed to do versus being kind of a jack of all trades. So we'll see how that affects my teams, because I obviously use him right now in a lot of my teams. So that is going to be interesting to see how it plays out. So there's also a ton of changes to other champions. The patch notes will be linked below if you want to check out a specific champion and see what the changes are. There was some changes to a few gear sets. So they buffed the Withering gear set. It's now stacks up to 45 times, and Dazzling set was changed. So now champions can only be stunned by Dazzling once every 1.2 seconds. The stun duration is only 1 second. So that's going to change a lot of the stall metas in Arena. So I'm interested to see how that works. And they've done some minimal changes to the outfits and how their upgrades perform. So you guys can read all of those specifics in the patch notes, but I just wanted to cover off some of the most important things from the patch notes. I'm so excited for update 3. Some of my favorite things that we went over were obviously the Ink Ninja changes. I'm really pumped for the 5v5 improvements. That's going to be huge for the game. And champion storage. I'm so excited to be able to have 200 more slots for champions. It's going to make time and efficiency in this game so much better. There was a ton of changes to quality of life, so I think overall I'm going to give update 3 a massive thumbs up, and a great job to the devs team and everyone that worked so hard behind the scenes at Gameloft to make this game better on an ongoing basis. This is a really great, focused, it's a huge update, but it's very focused on the longevity of the game, so I'm very pleased with these changes. And yeah, I'm so excited. Let me know in the comment section below what your favorite part of the update is going to be. If you have any questions about anything that came up in the patch notes and you're not too sure, make sure you guys get into the Dungeon Hunter Champions Discord. We have a discussion section in there for the patch notes, and you can ask questions, clarify some things, and really put just some feedback, I suppose, because I think that's one of the biggest things that we take away from anytime something comes out in the game. The team really takes our feedback and really obviously puts it to use. So Make sure if you're not there, I'll have a link down below to it and you guys can get in there and share your thoughts and feedback. Anyways guys, that's all I have for you guys today on update 3 for Dungeon Hunter Champions. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If not, always give it a thumbs down and let me know in the comment section why. Be sure to connect with me on Twitch. We'll be live streaming Dungeon Hunter Champions a lot, of course, we always do. And until next time guys, make sure to spread love and not hate, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!